What's going on, people? Welcome to another Emotion Football live stream, the first one in a long time. I am here to talk football. Been very busy with the basketball playoffs over on my other channel, Toronto Hoop Talk. Finally, I got a little bit of time to just breathe and talk about NFL. So, shout out to all my guys in here. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. No likes and no subs to this channel for a month because I haven't been here. So definitely gonna hope the numbers are good for this stream. You saw what Dwight posted. Which Dwight is this? Is this Dwight Howard? About to click this link. Is this related to what we're doing? Hold on. What the hell did Dwight Howard post? Oh, nah, that's wild though. But I mean, Dwight Howard, so what do you expect? But yeah, random basketball aside. We'll get into the football stuff. Like I said, before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like button and run up the subs too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the NFL and talk about news that has come up. This is the OTA week, or this past week was the OTA week. Every team had some degree of practicing going on, and while not necessarily everything is related to the practices that happened, this time of activity does spur free agent conversation, trade conversation. There's drama about people not showing up. So we're going to get into all of that. We're going to start with the Miami Dolphins, who had a couple interesting things come up. So Tyreek Hill, I don't think was at OTAs, but he did say that he wanted to knock out Mike McDaniel for not getting enough targets in a game. Let's see if there's a longer quote. He said, "Nah, bro, I remember one game I wanted to knock out Coach McDaniels because he wasn't throwing me the ball, man." So I think there's probably going to be some people that have like very deeply serious things to say about this. I just think it's weird that he's still there. I think my main takeaway is that it was always a little bit of a strange decision for the Dolphins to kind of just keep forward with the roster. I think they took a step back from a talent standpoint. And if you look at where they were last year, if you look at the place that they were the year before, they're not going anywhere. I don't get the point of holding on to their approaching 30 or 30-year-old players that are still around and just upset. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey. I don't know if there's anybody else, but those two big ones. I don't know what the plan is and why they're still here. I know Jalen Ramsey is supposed to get traded at some point, but there's not enough trade discussions happening around Tyreek Hill because, frankly, again, what is going to be accomplished this year that makes it make sense from Miami's standpoint. Now, I have to look at his contract. I do think his contract is a complicating factor, but that being said, the other thing that's a complicated factor is having a player that does not want to be there. 19 damn, some self-loathing there. Got to have the expectations low. I hear it. But yeah, I mean, speaking of having expectations low, I mean, I'd have a hard time imagining anybody in Miami having high expectations going into next year. So, I just don't get it. Like, not to make a huge deal out of this exact quote, but the point is he's talking about being unhappy, right? He talked about being unhappy when after the last game of the regular season last year, when he said that, yeah, I'm not used to this. I got to get out of here or something like that. Point is, Tyreek Hill is not happy. Why are we pushing forward with such a strange roster? And strange is one way to put it, but the other way to put it is not that good. So we'll have to see what Miami manages to do with their roster. The other thing that's worth talking about with Miami is this. Jonnu Smith, his contract demands caused the Dolphins to look for trade partners. Skylar isn't there. Zach Wilson, brother. Zachary Wilson. The only Jets quarterback in the history of football to beat the Eagles. And then I think 2 years ago, when the Eagles and Chiefs were in the Super Bowl, he beat both teams. So he is the backup quarterback in Miami. But essentially, Jonnu Smith, who did have a relatively good year, all things considered, last year, wanted a contract. The Dolphins aren't going to give it to him, and now he's looking for a trade. So the thing is like they're going to get worse. they're just gonna get worse. Now they might get good draft pick back in terms of like respective to his value, but they're not gonna get better next year. So all my points I made about the Tyreek situation and how this isn't a good team, it's not a good roster. We've seen them have better iterations of this roster and go nowhere. They're going nowhere next year. In the vein of me thinking that they should get rid of their older players, recoup value, and just start a rebuild, the Jonnu Smith part of it makes sense. Offering him a contract, realizing that he wants a higher number than you're comfortable paying, and then trading him makes complete sense. But if you're going to do that, why hold on to Tyreek Hill? I don't get it, right? Jonnu Smith is relatively quiet. Jalen Ramsey, relatively quiet. Tyreek Hill is the only one who get up in front of a microphone and tell you exactly how upset he is with everything. So I just don't get it. And I think they should be more proactive about moving him. Florida's better than New York. I can do with a bit of Jonnu Smith for us, but I doubt it. Didn't you guys draft somebody? No, you guys didn't draft somebody. Who did you guys sign? Yeah, you know what? Maybe. Who knows? I know Pittsburgh is a rumored destination, but I don't think that would be a good idea. But yeah, speaking of weapons on the move, the next destination we're going to go to is New England, where Mike Vrabel commented on a viral video that went out about Stefon Diggs. He said that Patriots want players to make great decisions in response to that video. So is there a larger quote? I want our players every single day, the ones that are here and the ones that aren't. I want to talk to our players every single day. It's something that we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field. The message will be the same. Conversations that I've had with Stefan will remain between him, I, and the club. Another quote, we're working hard to get him back and ready to go. When he's here, we'll coach him and we'll have him ready to go. Okay, so the main takeaway here for me is that on the Patriots side of things, it seems like they're not trying to make a big deal of this situation, and I think that's the right approach. I think the video that came out of Stefon Diggs on a boat with his girlfriend Cardi B and several women seems to be something that like it's being made out to be a professionalism issue or like a taking football seriously issue. And something I've always like felt pretty strongly about is that if the workouts are optional, then they're genuinely optional. I really don't believe in telling people that they have a choice to do something and then acting like they don't have a choice when they exercise that choice. He doesn't have to be in practice. If he's not in practice, what you would hope is that he's not doing something to jeopardize his physical health. We didn't see him on the boat eating pizza. Right? We didn't see him on the boat eating ice cream. We didn't see him ingest anything. We don't know what he put in his body. But as far as I'm concerned, as long as he's not jumping into shark water, I don't really see the issue. It's an optional workout. He chose to not be there. He chose to do something that, for what we know, like could have been a restful experience that was good to, not put too much wear and tear on his body. You gotta start the grind early. That video does not show that he hasn't started the grind early. He was at the Patriots practice, the last mandatory. So there was an earlier practice. Where was it? I forget what they called them. But if you look at the thumbnail, bro, the thumbnail is Stefon Diggs in a Patriots practice jersey, right? He was at Patriots practice. This one is optional. He chooses not to be this one. He's on a boat. What does that mean? Like, why are we drawing conclusions about if he's on a boat, he therefore cannot be taking care of his body? If we found out he's out of shape, that's a separate thing. But a person being on a boat doesn't say anything. That's just like a person making things up. Again, if we saw him on the boat eating pizza, that's different. If we saw, what's it called? What else could it have been? If he was on the boat, again, jumping, doing crazy stunts, that's, something that could endanger your body. But here's the thing, like in relation to the video of the boat, we've also seen tons of videos of him working out. Oddly enough, when I looked up Stefon Diggs Patriots on X to look for the picture of him on for this thumbnail, you see tons and tons of videos of him working out and being like, oh, he's in a great shape, ready for the season or whatnot. So that's just the thing. Like, again, you're saying next topic. The thing is that's how I think everybody should treat the video. I think this is general how you should have treated the video. So when you're saying that's why I disagree with you, you got to start the grind early. No, you should have next topic the video. You have an opinion on the video like it's a big deal. I agree. I don't think this should be a conversation at all. I don't get, like, bro, if it's a mandatory workout, keep it a mandatory workout, right? Make it a thing that everybody has to be at. If it's not, it shouldn't be this big of a deal, bro. The Eagles have a bunch of big players that aren't there. What's it called? The Commanders have Laramie Tunsil, who's their star left tackle that they just traded for from Houston. He just got traded to a new team. He's not at the optional mini camps. If they're optional, they should stay optional. So heavily with Quentin Johnston being the next Larry Fitzgerald in training. Damn, that's crazy. But yeah, that's that from New England. I'm hoping that nobody makes too big of a deal. But yeah, we got the next thing we're gonna talk about is Bryce Huff getting traded from the Eagles to the Niners. So Bryce Huff played for the New York Jets as an undrafted free agent, primarily under it was under Robert Saleh the whole tenure, I think. But basically, he was a very good backup pass rusher in New York. So good that he actually got 10 sacks as a backup. He was somebody that was an advanced stat like gem. So people who would look up or people that would put together all types of like just specific niche stats that nobody actually understands. He would be really, really high on all of them, right? People did a stat about his get-off time. Apparently, has one of the fastest get-off times for edge rushers. Bryce Huff was somebody that was supposed to be a gem, right? He came to Philadelphia last year. He got paid pretty well, $17 million a year. That's not like superstar edge rusher money, because I think the top of the edge rusher market is 40 now. So 17 isn't superstar money. But 17 is definitely like not an insignificant amount of money, especially when you're paying a quarterback. So the Eagles made a pretty sizable investment in Bryce Huff. He ended up not only flopping. It wasn't that it wasn't just that he was on the field not playing well. He was such a bad fit for what we wanted to do that Vic Fangio outright took him off the field. Vic Fangio put a third-round pick who was playing safety 2 years ago in front of him at edge rusher. Vic Fangio put Brandon Graham with one arm in front of him at edge rusher. Vic Fangio wanted nothing to do with Bryce Huff, which actually kind of speaks to how, I guess, illogical organizations can be. Sometimes, like, why... It didn't happen. So Bryce Huff now gets traded to the Niners, and he gets traded to the place. Okay, shit. Where did I freeze? Did the audio freeze as well, or was it just video? But yeah, okay. All I was saying was that, damn this Wi-Fi. All I was saying was just that, like, it's illogical for damn. Okay, so then, bro, what I was gonna say is, like, bro, it's illogical to give a guy $51 million and not even know what your defensive coordinator wants from the position, right? Allegedly, the issue is that Vic Fangio wants his edge rushers to read the situation. So when the ball gets snapped, you're looking for something to tell what you're supposed to do, right? Whether that's to aggressively rush to a particular gap, whether it's to drop into coverage, blah, blah, blah. The point is that there is a reading element to playing this position. With Bryce Huff and how he played in New York with Robert Saleh, there's no reading or thinking involved. You simply just go. The ball gets snapped and you just go. Part of what happens when you're not a starter at edge rusher is that you don't have to play every situation. When you're a backup, you can be strategically brought into the game during game situations that are well suited for you. In Bryce Huff's case, he's very undersized. He can't play the run at all. He's a pass rush specialist, and again, like not somebody who you want thinking too hard and having multiple roles he might have to play. So when the Eagles signed him, they found that they saw absolutely no, well, not they, Vic Fangio specifically saw absolutely no use for him on the football field. So he didn't get any snaps. It became a big deal if we can get his contract off the books. And again, like it only makes sense that he goes back to Robert Saleh, where he was a premier pass rush specialist off the bench, right? Like off the bench is a basketball term. Was as a backup. There we go. Premier pass rush specialist as a backup. He's probably gonna. I mean, not probably. I think Mikael Williams is gonna start on the other side of Nick Bosa, so he's a backup again, which is what he's supposed to be. He took a bit of a pay cut, so the Niners are paying him even less money. His contract is at $17 million a year. I think they're on the hook for like something like $12 million a year for the last 2 years. But no, it's good value for San Fran. It's a system fit. He was really good for New York. He actually played really well against the Eagles as a New York Jet. But yeah, the guy was a healthy scratch for Philly, man. In the Super Bowl, when Brandon Graham had one arm. Just crazy. It was ridiculous. Like, he also was wearing the jersey number 0. Like, that's such a great number. And to see it wasted on somebody who doesn't even play, that was horrible. So yeah, it's good to see Bryce Huff gone. It's good to get a mid-round pick back. It's good to get some financial relief because the Eagles get to, I think they save about $7 million. Like the Niners could have, like in terms of the money that they'd have to eat there if they cut him, you know, by trading him, they save 7 more than that. So yeah, money saved. That is probably getting immediately transferred to the Jalen Carter fund. You know how that goes. So yeah, I think it's a win-win for all parties involved as far as the trade goes. But the Eagles would definitely have to look at the trade as a whole like a disaster because truthfully, it has been a disaster. Okay, next thing we're gonna look at, we're gonna go to Atlanta. Where's the link? We're going to go to Atlanta, where the big news is basically the absences, right? So Kirk Cousins and Kyle Pitts are not in attendance as the Falcons begin OTAs. Now, if you look at here, even the thing here, the veteran quarterback may be sending a message with his absence from OTAs. Again, the whole point is that like this might be something worth talking about. It's again, these are optional workouts. Not everybody has to be there, but I think the conversation about this is more rooted in the fact that like there's conversation that's bigger than just these absences, and these absences are like confirmation of the fact that neither of these players are happy. Kirk Cousins again was kind of like ambushed by the Michael Penix selection. Kyle Pitts has kind of been ambushed by everything, his own ability, injury, bad offensive coaching. A lot has not worked for both these players in their tenure in Atlanta. I think for what it's worth, it would be good for them to get rid of these two players just to lift up the vibes, because I think both these players bring a really weird energy. Like again, Kirk Cousins signed with Atlanta thinking he was going to be the guy. He then learned that he was honestly just there to hold that spot until Michael Penix was ready. The thing to take away there is just like, I'm sure he hates every second that he's reminded of the fact that like, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. Kyle Pitts, again, this was somebody who was considered a generational tight end prospect. With how things haven't worked, I'm sure he just really needs a new start. So I just think it would be good for the Atlanta Falcons to get these two guys out of the door, to just let the bad energy go with them. Beyond that, I mean, they definitely need a whole lot more help to be good as a football team. They're not necessarily trading from a point of strength where they're such a good team they can afford to let guys go. But no, these two acquisitions have not worked out. Is there anything else in this article? He's now set to make, yeah. So Kyle Pitts is in a what's it called, a contract year. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about. So with Cousins, it's a little bit different where he has a bunch of guaranteed money left. And the tricky part about trading him is that how much of that money does the new team want to take on versus the Falcons? And then how much are they willing to trade? So there's a pretty, I guess, like layered negotiation. With Kyle Pitts, the issue is pretty clear in that he's in the last year of his contract. He's on a team where things have not worked out. I think it would probably be a big deal for him personally, to if he could end up in a situation where at least like there's a quarterback that likes throwing to him, or there's a coach that likes utilizing him, right? This guy has only one more chance to recoup value before he's a free agent. So I don't know if he necessarily has the leverage to demand a trade, so to speak. But if you're Kyle Pitts, man, you definitely need a fresh start to go somewhere where you can recoup some value before you hit free agency. Not put yourself in a position where you have to take a short-term 1 year, like a 1 year deal in free agency. Basically as a prove it deal to recoup your value there, right? Like for Kyle Pitts, man, it's just, I'm sure he's looking at it like, I just want to get a head start on letting people know I'm still good at this sport. So yeah, I think the thing about the Falcons is I don't know what their plan is. I don't know what their vision is, but I definitely think that they should be moving off of both these players. Next thing we're going to look at, we're going to go to Buffalo, where we're going to talk about another absence, but it's an absence for a different reason. Bills edge rusher Joey Bosa will miss spring workouts after the latest injury. Oh, what the hell? The soon-to-be 30-year-old signed a 1 year deal, has quite the injury history. Where is it? It's a calf injury, right? Where is it? Reports. Okay, here it is. Joey Bosa tweaked his calf during team workouts. Like Trey Young. Yeah, bro. Again, already. But yeah, man, Joey Bosa tweaked his calf during team workouts and will be sidelined for the foreseeable future. The article goes on to talk about how he's going to be sidelined until training camp, right? So this guy shows up to the optional workouts and messes up his calf. And the thing is like, we're all sports fans. We probably all watch more than one sport. If there's one thing you learn is that calves are tricky injuries because it's a soft tissue injury. It's going to heal on its own. You have no control over it. And if you rush it, you risk an Achilles injury. Like, this is a very serious thing to be dealing with as a 30-year-old with an injury history. Joey Bosa, definitely, that signing is already I'm already scared for Buffalo. If it isn't your mega preselected, why can't you get healthy? That's what I'm saying, bro. He has the universe on his side. I don't know what his issue is, but yeah, man, Bosa already hurt. I think that if you okay, so guys, think about the Buffalo Bills free agency luck right now. They signed 3 defensive linemen. Joey Bosa already hurt. We're not going to see him until training camp. Michael Hecht, edge rusher, suspended for 6 games. Ogunjobi, defensive tackle, suspended for 6 games. If Joey Bosa gets hurt again in training camp, they will have signed 3 defensive linemen that they will not see in week 1. That's absurd. Their luck with free agents has been absolutely ridiculous. So the bad luck continues, and this just feels very Buffalo Bills when it comes to things just not working out, even when it looks like they're supposed to. So that was my big takeaway. I saw that, and I was like, no fucking way. No way Bosa's hurt already. Tell me about it as a Man United fan. Yeah, man, this shit is serious. Those injuries are super serious. But we're going to go from one cold location to another. We're going to go from Buffalo to Chicago, where, okay, there's a bunch of little tidbits in news here. I want to skip all of it. I don't think any of it's that important except this one tweet at the end here. And it's something, again, where, like, I don't know. What the hell? No. Here it is. Can I highlight this? Cool. Can it be red? Okay. Johnson has been working. So Johnson is Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson has been working with Caleb Williams this spring on improving his body language. The two went through his film from 2025 and determined areas where Williams can improve. Johnson says, it's like, do we really want, hold on. Do we really want to, is this what we want to look like or not? We come to an agreement. No, it's not. Okay, we learn from it. We move on to the next thing. Body language is a huge thing. Demeanor. We don't want to be palms up. We don't want to be a palms up team where we're questioning everything. No, no, no. To me, that's a little bit of a sign of weakness. We don't want to exhibit that from anybody on the team. When Rich has fans. Okay, true. I mean, if they have an easy schedule, they're going to need it because, man, that luck is crazy. But yeah, I mean, okay. So I thought it was interesting how big of a deal they're turning body language into. And like, to me, it's not like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's nothing because, yeah, like I think when you're the leader of your team is like whiny and they don't seem in control, I think that could definitely have a domino effect. But it's just like the fact that they're going into it like this and talking about it. We're watching tape. We're looking at his body language on tape and we're like, hey, do we want to look like this? It's like, I don't know. I think body language is something that like, at some point, does Caleb Williams just not decide, like, you know what, I want to present a different way and I'm going to do it? Like, this is a very strange thing to be focusing on like this and studying and making a big deal about. It's not even like this is private. They're talking about it. It's like, bro, let's just play football. Like, if you guys get good at football, I'm sure you probably won't give a fuck about the body language. And again, that's not to say that, like, the things that they're talking about is nothing. Yeah, again, when your leader is whiny and doesn't look sure of themselves or sure about what's going on around them, that's not a great thing. But like, let's just get good at football first. I just thought it was interesting to point this out like this. Like, this is not a small throwaway. This is not like a little comment here and there. This is like a pretty big focus on like, hey, what did he say here? The two went through film from 2025 and determined areas where Williams can improve. Okay, maybe that doesn't suggest that they were looking at film specifically for body language, but that's kind of what I imagine in my head is like, they're going through the game tape and they're not even looking at the players. They're looking at Caleb Williams' body language after plays. And then my other takeaway about this is just like, it's so funny, like the little details of how things went wrong for Matt Eberflus, right? Like, Matt Eberflus was such a bad coach that, like, you have Tyreek Stevenson doing crazy shit. You have all kinds of insane losses. You have the timeout fiasco in Detroit. And everything was so bad that the quarterback had so much bad body language that the new coach is having a big deal to try to, like, coach him through it. Which is just so wild to me. Like, Chicago is just such a funny, like, they're in such a funny spot from that standpoint. Like, that last year was such a disaster in such a specific way, man. Like, you don't ever see that kind of a shit show where, like, I've never heard of this. I've never heard of a coach and a quarterback sitting there and studying body language together. Just a really bizarre thing that came up when I was looking at the different teams. But we're going to go from one C city to another. We're going to go from the Chicago Bears to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals, they put an article out here, their beat writers, talking about their offensive line. So, hold on. What did Jumbo say? Eberflus was still coach when they lost to the Commanders. Yeah, he was. He was. I think it was the Lions game. That was his last game, I think. But yeah. So yeah, going to the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals give an early look at potential starting offensive line. So I was just like, not to make a big deal out of this, but where is it? Okay, so this is the final end of season offensive line rankings for the Bengals. So literally, they had 1 year in 2021 where they were 20th in the league, which is like the middle third, I guess you could say. But other than that, they've been 26th or worse. This is a team that's consistently in the bottom third of the NFL when it comes to offensive line ratings, right? And apparently this is what their offensive line is going to look like next year. So, wait, why did this? Oh, it clicks that. Damn, okay. No, anyways, I can highlight it here. Orlando Brown at left tackle, which is who they've had for the last couple years, right? Dylan Fairchild, a third-round pick, by the way. This is not a first-round pick, not a second-round pick. This is a third-round pick we're leaning on. Ted Karras has been the center for a couple years now. Lucas Patrick, which is, guys, I need you guys to understand. Lucas Patrick's last two teams with the Saints and the Bears, he was an instrumental part of those two teams having bad offensive lines. He's the other addition. And then Amarius Mims, who is this will be his second year, a top pick, whatever, right? But I'm looking at it and I'm like, I saw this article and I'm like, why is this the case? And they're just content with it. Like, two of these guys have been there consistently through these rankings, right? One of the additions is a third round pick, a rookie. So much pressure on him. The other addition is somebody who has been a journeyman, a vet that's consistently been a part of bad offensive lines. And then the other guy is a second year guy who you hope takes a big stride. But it's like, you're putting so much weight on the two prospects at left guard and right tackle. You're putting so much faith in Lucas Patrick all of a sudden just turning his career around. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, some things just never change. Like, the Bengals are, they're looking at their offensive line. It's June 1st. They know it's going to be ass, and they're not going to do anything about it. And Joe Burrow's probably going to get hurt, and this season's going to be a disappointment. Like, just a level of being content that should not be, that level of just being content should not be in any serious organization. And the Bengals are not that. Like, I saw this and I was just like, they should be ashamed of themselves that this is the case and they're not doing anything about it. But yeah, I mean, like, again, this is nothing new for this quarterback or this team. The offensive line has been bad. It's going to continue to be bad. And just don't expect anything to be different because it's June 1st and nothing's going to change. Something else that happened, make sure I stay away from that window. Shamar Stewart's father. So before I get into that, you guys might not know who Shamar Stewart is. Shamar Stewart is their first round pick edge rusher, the only player in the NFL, I think, actually no, one of two, who has yet to practice because of a contract dispute. Now, all the rookies have to negotiate their contracts with the NFL once they get drafted. Not every rookie is signed yet. Even to this day, there's a ton of rookies that have not signed their contracts yet. However, there are a set of waivers that can be signed where a rookie can practice without signing their contract, and it doesn't really change how things go for their contract. The Eagles have, I think, still 3 rookies that haven't been signed yet, and they're still practicing, right? The Ravens just signed their first round pick, Malachi Starks. And when he signed, Marlon Humphrey responded to the tweet saying, hey, no contract, and he was still practicing this whole time. Shamar Stewart is the Bengals edge rusher, a rookie who has not practiced yet because of a contract dispute. It's a very puzzling thing for most people, like, because this is such a rare thing to happen. And for the first time, his dad spoke out about it and gave us some details of what's going on, which can kind of help figure out the situation. So it's really the last 2 paragraphs here. We don't want more than anybody. Wait, hold on. No. We don't want any more than anybody else has gotten. We want the same. We want the exact same that the great player Amarius Mims got. We want to say we want. That's a really weird way of saying it. We want to say we want the exact same thing every Bengals first round pick has gotten. For some reason, they want to change the verbiage up this year. Was there? Oh, here it is. The verbiage in the contract isn't the same as the past draft picks who were drafted lower than him. So that's what's holding us back. This is not a now money thing. And when I say a now money thing, I mean that he is not saying, hey, we're disagreeing over funds that has to come in today or tomorrow. These are things that we're disagreeing on that can affect him later down the road. So, I mean, that kind of points to how strange of a situation it is that the Bengals all of a sudden, out of nowhere, are now deciding that they want to just switch up their rookie contract. And clearly it's put Shamar Stewart and his people in a tough situation because they just want what everybody else has gotten. I wish there were details about what the changes were because I think that would definitely make it easier to understand. That being said, though, nobody would ever say that. Like, if his dad ever came out and said, hey, this is the exact stuff that's wrong with the contract, I think that would make it a much bigger deal. But I kind of would love to know, like, how have we gotten here where this guy has not touched a football field yet over a dispute where so many of his colleagues have the same dispute? Yet they found ways to continue practicing, continuing to stay involved, and not let the contract dispute get in the way of them playing. And the bigger, like the specific thing for me that makes it so bad is this specific is like literally who Shamar Stewart is, because Shamar Stewart is somebody who needs practice so much more than a lot of players. Like he is, for people that don't know him as a prospect, supremely athletic, maybe one of the better athletes we've seen as an edge rushing prospect. But somebody who has very little technique, very little skills. Somebody who got by in high school and college, basically just with athleticism alone. Somebody who a lot of people expect to fail in the NFL if he doesn't improve his techniques and his skills. So this is somebody who needs to be on the field so badly, but he's not because of some strange contract issue. So I don't know why the Bengals decided that they had to switch up how they do things all of a sudden. I'm gonna say Haley Steinfeld got married to Josh Allen. Damn, bro, you'll live. You'll be okay. But yeah, man, Cincinnati Bengals, they will find a financial or contract related way to mess up their team. That's just what they do consistently. Again, we're talking about some things never change with Cincinnati and their offensive line issues. Some things never change, even from an off the field basis, man. They're gonna mess their teams up when it comes to being at the contract negotiation table. And we're gonna stay in the division. We're gonna stay in the state. We're gonna look at the Cleveland. No, hold on. What the hell? Okay, here we go. We're gonna look at the Cleveland Browns, who had some quick hitters, and it seems like they might be in better shape. General, what's that link? Okay, I have several backfired 89 tattoos on his back of being a bust. Chiefs cut. Damn. Man, Kadarius Toney. Poor guy. You guys can click this link. It's just his tattoos that he got pretty early in his tenure in New York and Kansas City. But yeah, so apparently in Cleveland, Jerry Jeudy looks more explosive than last year. Looks like he added 5 to 10 pounds of lean muscle. Could help him break more tackles in the open field, blah, blah, blah. DeJuan Jones, apparently lighter, more agile, more athletic. Zach Zinter looked to have transformed his body and appears to be much stronger. And then this quote here is hilarious. The Browns might have enough pass rush help to rival what the Super Bowl winning Philadelphia Eagles have flexed over the past few years. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka looked explosive in his get-off and may be in for a big season playing in the wide 9. And Cam Thomas looks capable of setting the edge and beating opposing tackles with speed to power. Like, comparing you guys to Philly for what? It's just such a weird combination, especially when you're talking about Joe Tryon-Shoyinka and Cam Thomas. And like, I want to actually put this on its head to say that, like, you guys have Myles Garrett, who's so much better than any of our edge rushers. Like, we have completely different edge rushing situations. But what a weird way to frame the fact that apparently some of their backup edge rushers look good. But the main purpose of me like bringing all this up is like, if DeJuan Jones, Jerry Jeudy, and Zach Zinter are in amazing shape and just look great, like physically, cool, that's great. I guess that's what people are taking away. But those takeaways, to me, make one takeaway that I saw look extra funny. So I saw this as well. Browns QB update from OTAs. Dylan Gabriel does not look like an NFL quarterback to me. Now, who did that quote come from? The quote came from this guy here, Zach Jackson, a Browns reporter for The Athletic. So he said, where's the quote exactly? Actually, you know what? There is no essential, like, he basically just said, Shedeur Sanders has been impressive, but Gabriel does not look like an NFL quarterback. All right, so here is the deeper explanation. We've not heard of another team that was interested in drafting Gabriel inside the first 100 picks, with some uncertainty of whether he would still have been available in the last 2 rounds if the Browns hadn't selected him. Physical outliers, which Gabriel fits, rarely succeed in a sport like football. That doesn't mean Gabriel won't, but it's a steep hill to climb, and if you don't meet certain physical benchmarks. There's a long time before Cleveland's decision makers have to decide on a starting quarterback, but Sanders and Gabriel have 1 year to prove something to the Browns before the two teams pick in the first round, or before the team's 2 picks in the first round of the 2026 draft. So I think the big thing I wanted to focus on here was having not heard of another team that wanted to take Gabriel in the first 100 picks. I think it just shows you how, I mean, sometimes fans know things and get things right. When Dillon Gabriel was picked in the 3rd round, a lot of people were shocked because a lot of people assumed he'd be somebody who goes in the late rounds or undrafted. And the main reason was being the size. So when I see the quote that this guy says that Dillon Gabriel does not look like an NFL quarterback to me, I'm assuming he means like does not look like, when I look at him with my eyes, he doesn't look like an NFL quarterback to me. And I think that makes sense because he is what they say he is. He is tiny. That is a small guy. So I think it's completely reasonable for a person to be concerned, especially when it's not like he has supreme talent. He has some solid talent as a thrower and as a quarterback. But yeah, he's not a supremely talented player like that. So this makes a lot of sense to me. But the fact that they're looking into it and they're saying that, you know what, yeah, the Browns were the only team interested in taking him. Again, part of what I'm getting at thematically today is that like some things never change, right? You see the Bengals, they're just doing the same shit that they always do. And that's why they're the Bengals. The Browns, they're doing the same shit that they always do. And that's why they're the Browns. Good luck to them with Dillon Gabriel. And the next team we're going to look at, another team where things appear to kind of not be changing. We're going to Houston. And this is a stock up and stock down series from Texans website. But the main one I wanted to focus on was Juice Scruggs, which is an interior offensive lineman. So part of this write-up gets at the fact that he can play a bunch of different spots. And Houston got rid of basically all the other starters from their offensive line last year. What I wanted to focus on was this tweet here that says, good chance we see the Texans 2025 offensive line week 1 look identical to the group they used in week 18 and the wild card round, with Titus Howard, Jarrett Patterson, and Juice Scruggs starting left to right. So this tweet is basically saying the interior of their offensive line will be the exact same as as it was last year. Over those 2 games, they allowed a combined 9 pressures with 1 sack, and 1 sack with Scruggs and Patterson both being 69 plus grade in both run blocking, in zone run blocking. And then I think there's some stats here. No. Houston spent hold on. Yeah, so Houston spent the offseason adding uninspiring veterans before ignoring the interior line in the draft altogether, which has cleared a path to start for 2025. While his own play has received its own scorn, the former 2023 second rounder will have another shot to develop into a formidable starter on the offensive line. I see Sai's in here. Big up to Sai. Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, next year is going to be a fun time. But yeah, the main takeaway here is that it looks like Houston is essentially returning a worse version of their line last year, right? They're bringing their entire interior back with Scruggs, Patterson, and Titus Howard. Titus Howard was a tackle that they, I think, kicked into guard last year, right? So that lineup, again, there was quite a bit of changing, but it looks like they're running that back essentially. And then at the offensive tackle, you got Blake Fisher at right tackle, who was a rookie last year. So there's a chance that he takes a step forward. But then at left tackle, you have Cam Robinson instead of Laramie Tunsil. Laramie Tunsil is one of the better left tackles in football. So you're downgrading at that spot. So that's not great. Like, I think I like so much of what Houston has as a football team outside of their offensive line, but I'm so underwhelmed when it comes to the offensive line, man. I think that they're an offensive line away from being a super team, but if offensive line is your weakness, that's a serious issue. So if these guys get better, that'll be great for them. But if not, that's going to be what holds them back from being true contenders. Because if Stroud has to run for his life and they can't get an effective running game, it is not going to work out in January and February. But yeah, it's just, again, like we saw it with the Bengals, we saw it with the Browns, now we're seeing it with the Texans. Some things just don't change, right? Like this organization looked at their offensive line last year, identified that it was a problem. And it looks like they're just running it back with probably a lesser version of their offensive line last year. So that is bizarre. And then we're going to go from Houston, one blue and red team, to another blue and red team, to the Giants. And this one's going to be a short one, but there was somebody who broke down the quarterback reps from the Giants practice. And this makes the order of the quarterback depth chart very, very clear, right? So Russell Wilson took 15 reps, all of them with the starters. Winston took 15 reps, all with the backups. Jackson Dart took 14 reps, 3 of them with the starters. Lowly Tommy DeVito, poor guy, only had 4 reps, and they were all with the reserve team. So there's a very clear 1, 2, 3, 4 here. I think this is something that people expected. This isn't necessarily a surprise, but yeah, just for anybody who had some ambiguity, thought, oh, maybe Jackson Dart could take the number 1 job. Maybe he would even get ahead of Jameis Winston for the number 2. No, there's a pretty clear 1, 2, 3, 4 to start, which is in line with what people expected, which is in line with what they talked about. You're probably going to see Russell. I mean, it aligns with the contracts as well. You're going to see Jameis as the 2, Russ as the 1, Jackson Dart as the developmental 3. Man says Stephon Diggs is a lucky guy. Stephon Diggs is hilarious, man. Stephon Diggs is hilarious. But yeah, New York, things are pretty straightforward, pretty simple. We're not going to see Jackson Dart, barring disaster, right? Like 2 people have to get hurt / benched in order for Jackson Dart to see the football field. So I don't expect that to happen. We're going to stay in New York with the next one. And by the way, General, the New York Jets is actually the last team that I had lined up. So you can drop your links in the chat now, and I will get to them after I do the Jets. But the Jets, I just saw something that really made it clear to me how dire their wide receiver situation is. So I saw an article saying the Jets don't see a clear-cut number 2 receiver. So they did a poll for fans. Who will end up as the Jets' number 2 wide receiver? You got Josh Reynolds, Alan Lazard, and Arian Smith all getting 20% plus in this survey. You got Malachi Corley, Xavier Gibson, and Tyler Johnson also getting votes. You have 6 people getting votes and 3 people getting more than 20% of the votes. So nobody knows who this team's wide receiver 2 is going to be. But the point is, none of these guys are wide receiver 2s. I see 2 wide receiver 3s. I see 2 wide receiver 3s. That's it. But the fact that somebody here has to be a 2 is horrible. That's really, really bad. So when I think about the Jets and what they could be and what they should be next year, they have to be a rushing team. They have to be a rushing team. They have to have their 2 running backs and Justin Fields running for a lot of yards next year. They need their passing attack to be like early Lamar passing attacks, where it's like we throw the ball basically off the back of setting up good looks because of our rushing attack. But their rushing attack has to be the foundation of everything they do offensively. And because that's the case, their defense has to show up. Like if they play complementary football between their running game and their defense, then their wide receiver room, which will be bad, it won't be that detrimental to their team. But if they play bad defense, if they can't run the ball, bruh, it's going to be bad. It's going to be really, really bad. I think this year is a very crucial season for the New York Giants because they got a good roster this year. And then Jen will chimes in. I just think the Giants are average with an average coach. Dayball isn't Duval. Okay, so when it comes to the Giants, bro, I think their receivers outside of Neighbors aren't good. I think their offensive line is okay at best. And then defensively, I don't love their corners. Like I kind of agree with Genwell that I think that they're a solid team. I don't think they're that good though. So I don't think they have too much pressure on the team as far as the players. I think there's a ton of pressure on the coaches and the GM. I think that like it's crucial. So I agree with the crucial aspect of things. I think it's crucial because this GM and this coach have wasted a lot of resources. They have to turn in like some type of a good product. But me personally, I'm not putting too much pressure on the players because I actually think that Russell Wilson is in a comparable situation to where he was last year. And we saw what last year looked like for Russ, right? Malik Neighbors is his George Pickens, but probably an upgrade on Pickens. He doesn't really have a wide receiver too, just like last year where he didn't really have a wide receiver too in Pittsburgh. Solid offensive line, nothing special. The Steelers rushing attack last year was solid, nothing special, right? They should be able to replicate that with Tracy, maybe even a slight upgrade. But the point is like, I do think that it's a very similar situation for Russ, and I don't think Russ looked good last year. So, if you think about it, I actually think this year's Giants will be very similar to last year's Steelers. I'd argue Scatterbo is better than Harris. Yeah, absolutely, bro. You could definitely argument could be made that it's an upgrade, but I don't think it's like it's not like a sizable enough upgrade for me to think that oh, we can expect Russ to produce much more than last year. Neighbors is an upgrade to Pickens, right? Scatterbo / Tracy is an upgrade from a rushing attack sense to what they had last year with Harris and Jaylen Warren. But it's still in the same realm of bro, I don't think you can expect Russ to do much. Big up, Jazz, bro. Good to see you. Big game on Thursday. We will be there. OKC Nation, stand up. But okay, cool. Let me open up these links here. How do I do this? This shit is incredibly stupid. I can't click links on StreamYard. So let me see if I can share them to. Okay, motorcyclesports.net, Quentin Johnston. Motorcycle sports. Is this it? May 12th? No, it's June 1st. Damn, this website has hella. Oh, okay, I'll have to find it. Quentin Johnston. Here it is. Chargers landscape. Seattle's need for firepower. Hold on. What is the main takeaway here? Vested interest near end of his career. Hold on. Who's saying this? Who's the writer here? Diogo Branco? Find themselves in pursuit of a dynamic receiver to boast there. I'll be honest, bro. I don't think you guys are going to be able to trade him. I think the window is passed for that kind of thing. I think he would have been a candidate to get traded on draft night or maybe end of free agency. But I don't think anybody who needs somebody is really going to be looking at Quentin Johnston as a need or as somebody who can alleviate a need. I think if anything, If anything, he's somebody like he's a kind of a player that a team might look at as an opportunity. If they really liked him in the draft, if they saw upside and they just didn't have the draft pick to take him, or they could have taken him, but they just wanted somebody else, he's more of an opportunity. So I think that's like a training camp before cut date kind of a guy. Or yeah, the second link is more relevant though from a Chargers beat writer. Okay. What is the second link? X.com. When is this tweet from? Okay, X.com. Lampago FL. Damn. I must have to search this person up. No, what's this man's name? There we go. Finally found the link. Okay, suggest Chargers should sign this interior offensive lineman, and it's Brandon Sheriff. Yeah, the thing is like Sheriff he's in the decline part of his career, but it would still be a good addition. Like he still can play good football. He's just not the superstar he once was. He was one of the best guards in football at one point, but that would still be an upgrade. But yeah, left guard, you can definitely upgrade Zion Johnson. So Brandon Sheriff would help. But yo, Mekhi Becton and Joe Alt on the right side, I've been saying this for a while, is going to be insane in the power running game with your two new power running backs. But yeah, it looks like we've exhausted the news that I wanted to talk about. We are going to end this, though, with something that is very near and dear to my heart. We are going to end this with Immaculate Grid. We are going to end this with the football equivalent of Immaculate Grid. The first time I have done this on this channel. The first time I've done grids with this sport. So, I mean, we're probably going to do one because this shit is not easy. Okay. Jets and Falcons. Jets and Falcons. Who's a Jet? Oh, John Abraham. 14%. Damn. You know what it is, though? In NFL grids, you don't sweat about 14%. You take it. Falcons, Jets is tough. Jets and Packers. Oh, Rodgers people. Who did Rodgers? Rodgers brought a right tackle with him. A scrub. What was his name? Oh, this is going to piss me off. He brought a right tackle with him. Billy Turner. Billy Turner. 0.8. Holy shit. He got shades on in his picture too. But yeah, shout out to the 9 people watching live. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But also, now that we're doing this, make sure you guys get active in the chat if you can help. If you have any good candidates for these options, let them be known. Jets and Steelers. Okay, Michael Vick is an answer, but Michael Vick would be like, nah, he's too popular. I want to say Mike Williams, but he was literally on both these teams last year. So that feels like that wouldn't be good. Wait. Oh, no. I got this. Offensive lineman, Herbig. Not the recent one, the older one. There we go. Nate Herbig, 0.3. Let's go. Devontae Freeman, 36%. But you know what? We'll take it. These things are not easy. Anthony's Asphalt, man. What's up? Long time no see. Seahawks fan. This is one of the Seahawks fans on this channel. Good to see you, man. This is a new thing that we're going to be doing on the channel during commercial breaks when we do watch-alongs, by the way. I found this game for basketball. You try to look for players that match the categories, but you're looking for the most uncommon names possible. The more rare your answer is, the more points you get. Okay, Matt Schaub for Falcons Ravens. Bro, Matt Schaub I think it would be too popular. But we'll leave that as an option. Giants and Packers. But okay, Giants Packers. I think we could do the safety McKinney, but nah, we can do better. I feel like there's been enough exchange between these two teams. Who's played for the Giants and the Packers? Shit, I don't know. Okay, it might have to be McKinney. You know what? Let's just do McKinney. 26%. Damn. Okay, you know what? We'll just do Schaub then. Whatever. Schaub, 5%. Wow. Wow. Big up to you, Jen Will, man. Great answer. I did not know it would be 5%. Okay. Packers and Ravens. That's a tricky one because neither of these teams make big signings. So it's going to be somebody, Desmond King. Whoa. What an answer. What an answer. 0.1. Okay, so Steelers Giants is Plaxico Burress as a fallback, but I feel like we can do better. Oh, Micah McFadden? Did he play? No, he may have played. He may have played in Green Bay. Green Bay and Pittsburgh and New York. Who played for both these teams? Backup quarterbacks. Did Tyrod Taylor play for either of the? Didn't play for the Steelers. Sammy Watkins. Whoa, what an answer! That's another hell. That's a. Oh shit, 20. What? I thought that would be an amazing answer. I cannot believe that that's a 26%. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. So hold on. Anthony's Asphalt. A part of the rules is that for a player to count for that team, they have to have touched the football field. They actually have to have registered a snap. So Russ doesn't count for the Giants yet. But shit, why is this so? Isaiah Simmons? No. Who? You know what? We're just gonna do Plaxico and move on. I don't want to. This is the first time we're doing it, just to show everybody how the game works. Plaxico Burress, 73%. Holy shit. Oh, I waited too long. I didn't get to. No, it's all good. It's all good. Anthony's Asphalt. Don't worry. We're all learning. First time playing this game. 73% is terrible. But yeah, that's how the game works. The more rare the answer, the better. Didn't Roethlisberger get drafted by the Giants? Shout out to Vinny Allison. He did, but again, the rules of the game is that the player has to have touched the field and played a snap for the team to count. So Roethlisberger wouldn't count because he didn't actually play a snap for the Giants. Okay. First team AP All-Pro. First team AP All-Pro for the Raiders. That's tough because the old school answers are going to help here. I don't know a lot of old school stuff, but like anybody recent for the Raiders, like Max Crosby, that's going to be too obvious, right? That's going to be a high percentage answer. Wait, hold on. What about Janikowski? Guys, do we think Janikowski would be a good answer? I feel like, wait, Leckler. Okay. Shane Leckler, baby. Punter. Let's go. Legendary punter. Washington first team AP All-Pro. I don't think they have a special teamer like Leckler. Okay, you know what? Actually, first team AP All-Pro for the passing yards category, 10,000 plus career passing yards. I'm thinking we could pick. Who's the most low-key quarterback to be first? I think Russell Wilson, right? Because okay, for this category, right? Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, all the legends are going to take up a bunch of votes. Somebody like Russell Wilson, I'm assuming he's done it, but I think he'd be good here. Oh, no. Okay, so this is the first time this has happened on live. But if you get an answer wrong, first of all, that's how you know you got it wrong because it's red. But basically, you only have 9 guesses. So once you get something wrong, you lose a guess. That's an automatic 100-point penalty. So it's like it's as if you got 100% answer. Like it's not good. Antonio Hamilton. I don't even know who this is. Who is Antonio Hamilton? 0.04%. What an answer. Okay, so Raiders, Vikings, Randy Moss would be an answer, but he's too obvious. Like that's way too popular of a name. Oh, Madison, the running back, Alexander Madison, 11%. Damn. I thought that would be a little bit more rare. Samaje P. Ryan. That's a hell of a guess. Vikings, Commanders. Who made this switch? Oh, Adrian Peterson, but he's too popular. I feel like there's definitely a defensive player. I just can't think of it right now. Okay, let's do the career stat here. Okay. Carson Wentz. 3%. Wow. I did not know people would keep this in mind. Oh, Kirk Cousins. Fabian Moreau. Okay, Fabian Moreau is the more rare name. Hold on. Fabian Moreau is amazing. If it's, oh my God, 0.06%. Yeah, Kirk Cousins is definitely, here's the thing. So Kirk Cousins might be too popular for this. I actually don't know if Kirk Cousins would be that bad here because actually, no, we should be looking for backup quarterbacks. Like the Carson Wentz for Kansas City, that's a great approach to this category. Look for a backup quarterback that is like a veteran player that played a lot in the league. So I'm thinking for the Vikings, Tavares Jackson. I don't know if he got to 10,000, but he did. Oh, Sam Bradford. Oh, Case Keenum. Thank you, Vinny. Hell of an answer. 2%. First team AP All Pro. I already got one answer wrong, so I can only answer one more. Oh, you know what? Hold on. We just talked about this guy in the news, Brandon Sheriff. What was he? 6%? Oh, you know what? This grid actually came together really nicely. 11% is our worst answer. If only Russell Wilson made first team AP All Pro. You know what? Okay, next time I get a category like that, I'm gonna try to find somebody who's maybe older. So for that category, maybe I should have done like Donovan McNabb or something. Okay, first round draft pick for the Cardinals. Oh, Nkemdiche. 1%. Let's go. Okay, first round draft pick for the Colts. First round draft pick for the Colts. Come on. Think. I'm trying to think of a lineman. Oh, Costanza? Costanzo? Anthony Costanzo. 0.5. Let's go. Peyton Manning. True. Matt Hack, Colts Browns. Holy shit. This guy knows punters. This guy knows where punters played. My goodness. Okay. First round draft pick to get 10 plus sacks. Let's try Chris Long. 0.2%. Let's go. Chris Long, I think he's very slept on because he had so many good years on Rams teams that nobody cared about because they weren't good. And then obviously he was a bench player on 2 Super Bowls. Genwell is unreal. So he's good at the basketball equivalent of this too. He just stores the most random names. Cardinal Brown is Josh Rosen. Holy shit. Oh no. Hold on. Did Rosen touch the field for the Browns? Because that maybe is what happened. If he was on the training camp roster. Yeah, so he didn't make the team the year he was on the Browns. He just was there for training camp. Okay, Josh Cribbs though. I like Josh Cribbs. That's a throwback Name Josh Cribbs. Wait, what? Did he also not make? Did he not make the Cardinals? Oh no, he just never. He did never play for the Cardinals. Damn. Okay, out here learning hard lessons, I guess. Um, damn. Josh Cribbs felt right. I feel like I've seen somebody running kicks back for them with long hair. Um. Okay, 10 plus sacks. Jabal shared. Damn. Okay, we got a lot wrong. King, we made it. We made it. We're playing NFL grids. Uh who is this? Vizcon? Who is like how do you know these people? Tristan Vizcon. Who are these people? That doesn't seem like a real name. That seems like the Key and Peele sketch. Okay, and we're almost done, so I'm just gonna do. We only have one guest left. I'm just gonna do DeForest Buckner here. 37%. I thought he'd be higher. Okay, we're gonna do one last one. Undrafted. Oh, that's annoying. How am I gonna know? Oh, wait, hold on. Rashid Shaheed. No, hold on. Rashid Shaheed. Undrafted. 7%. Let's go. Drop the link. Bro, I'm about to wrap up, bro. Like, I'll be done in like 10 minutes. My bad. All good, bro. All good. Welcome to the community, man. You're the first person to mess up, but during the season, Vinny, you might not be familiar. I think you're new here because I've never seen your name. Also, first of all, let us know what team you like and generally what part of the world you're from. But the other thing is like our main staple here are Sunday night football watch-alongs where we talk about the games that happen during the Sunday football schedule. We watch the game together. And then we just talk about random shit. But this is what we're adding is like during commercial breaks when there's no football, we're going to be doing this. So the Sunday night football hangouts are going to be amazing this football year. He's a Falcons fan, if that tells you anything. Yeah, Anthony is my brother. He said, oh, I appreciate that, man. Anthony and Vinny. Okay, we got family in here. Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't seen Anthony in a while. Okay, Vinny is a Falcons fan. That is the first Falcons fan we've had in this channel, in this community. So we're racking up the teams. Yeah, it's our first Falcons fan, man. Leave the Chargers for me. Okay, hold on. Rex Burkhead is for what combination here? Oh, yeah. No, wait, what? Oh, wait, were you talking Patriots Texans? Gotta drop the categories, my guy. 10%, that's solid. Andrew Brown, Chargers Texans. So hold on. Vinny and Anthony both like bird teams, Seahawks and Falcons. Is that the first NFC South team? Yeah, I think so. There's no Bucks fans, I don't think so. Yeah, I think so. Who is this guy? Genwell. Who is Andrew Brown? How do you know all these people? And then hold on. I think Malcolm Butler was undrafted, right? It's 9%. This guy caught a game-winning interception in the Super Bowl. How? What? Oh, man, yeah. No worries. No worries, man. People, like, you know, watching a live stream is very much like a luxury thing in life, you know, like I understand people are busy. I'm busy too. Keandre Thomas, Chargers, Packers. Oh, Keandre Thomas. Who are these people, man? Lawrence Guy, Chargers, Packers. Oh, bro, he already beat you to the punch with the most random guy possible. Okay, Chargers undrafted. Chargers undrafted. I feel like there's a receiver. There's a receiver that. Who is it? Damn. Luke Grimm? Okay, but did he touch? Did he play for like? Is he undrafted this year? Because it won't count, bro. And for players to count on this, they have to have played a snap for the team. Wait, hold on. Saints, Bradley Roby, 1%. Yeah, this year it won't work. Saints and Packers, Jamal Williams. Wait, hold on. Who is this? Who's Shamar John Charles? Who? Saints Chargers isn't a category, brother. I'm just gonna do Jamal Williams and get us out of here, man. The wrong guesses. Wow, that's only 10%. I thought that would be way worse. Packers and I think there's a backup quarterback. Shit. Okay, Patriots and Packers. Akeem Dent. Okay, I remember that name. Okay, you know what? Oh, damn, it didn't count for some reason. We're going to do one more. The undrafted category was whack. Okay, hold on. We got an Eagles category. Let me strap in. Let me lock in. Okay, I got this. Give me a second. All right. Eagles and Bills. Eagles and Bills. Eagles and Bills. Yeah, the undrafted category is shit. No, you know what? Hold on. This one I can do Philly Will Parks. Will Parks. Okay. Eagles and Panthers. Eagles and Panthers. Eagles and Panthers. Miles Sanders, I think I can do better. Like with my Eagles knowledge, man, I can, here's the thing, Vinny, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but like Eagles, that's an opportunity for me to hit home runs because this is my team. I can do less than 1%. I can do it. I just have to think, but I know I can do it. But yeah, LaShawn McCoy and Miles Sanders, they'll be like 15, 20%. We'll save those. Hold on. Anthony's Ashford, bro. We got a Seattle category. We need you to lock in. Give us some good choices. Fred Jackson, that's a hell of a pick. Jordan Poyer. Wait. Can I do better than Jordan Poyer? You know what? People don't remember that Jordan Poyer was an Eagle as a rookie. But also, you know what, though? I don't think he may have not played a snap. He may have not played a snap. Got to be careful about that one. Oh, Jordan Matthews. 1%. Okay, yeah. See, I know I can get 1%ers. I know I can get 1%ers. Okay. Panthers, Eagles. Let me lock in. Who made this switch? Torrey Smith. 2%. Man, come on. Torrey Smith. People remember him on the Panthers? No chance. David Moore. That also has no business being that high. Seattle and there was a throw-in. There was a throw-in in the Russ trade because Noah Fant went the other way, but then some defensive lineman went with Russ to Denver. Oh, what was his name? As you can see, I care about this with my whole heart, this game. Russell Wilson, for sure. I think Russ will be... I just think he'd be way too popular, man. We can do better. There was a random throw-in. Man, I'm telling you, there was a defensive lineman. After we do the game, I'm going to look up the name, and I'm going to get pissed. Okay, you know what? I'm going to leave this for now. If not, let's just do Noah Fant. 20%. Okay, if Noah Fant is 20%, I didn't wait, bro. I didn't wait. My bad, King. Then Russell Wilson is at least 40. Okay, 10 plus receiving touchdowns in a season. I like that category. Okay. Philip Dorsett is great. Oh, no, I gave up too quickly. Philip Dorsett is amazing. 10 plus receiving touchdowns in a year. Okay, for the Bills, I'm thinking Stevie Johnson. I don't think John Brown would have got it. I'm definitely not doing Diggs. I'm definitely not doing Sammy Watkins. For the Panthers, I'm thinking, wait, Gabe Davis. Are we sure Gabe Davis got 10 in a year? If he got 10 in a year, okay, guys, what do you guys think about Gabe Davis? Are we sure he got 10 in a year? For the Panthers, I'm actually thinking a sleeper might be Greg Olsen, because I don't know if people think tight ends immediately when they see these kind of categories. But if not Greg Olsen, who did he have? Who did Cam have initially? Steve Smith is going to be way too popular. Kelvin Benjamin, I don't think so. What this is a rough category. Ted Ginn? Ted Ginn, if he got 10? Oh my God. What a name. Denver Broncos with 10 plus. Julius Thomas. Hold on, guys. Screw it. I'm just doing it. Julius Thomas. 7%. Let's go. D'Angelo Williams' brother. What? A running back? If he got 10 plus receiving touchdowns, then I don't know what type of screen offense they were running that year. But okay, with the Buffalo Bills, we're just going to do Stevie Johnson. 4%. 46 is our best score so far. And we're going to go out on a high note, people. So shout out to everybody that's kept me company. You guys are all my people. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the stream and subscribe to the channel. Those are forms of engagement that really, really help out with the algorithm. So if you want to support the channel's growth, that's the best way to do so. So I'm going to be out of here. I think I'll be back on the channel on Saturday. Yeah, so on Saturday, is it Sunday or Saturday? No, it's a week from now. So a week from now, on Sunday, I'm actually doing a UFL watch along. So the UFL playoff semifinals will be happening at 3 p.m. a week from now. So I'll be back at that point to do a watch along for a game. Again, it's UFL, so we're not going to be watching the game super closely. I'm not going to know most of the players, but it's football. We'll watch it. It means something. It's, it's a semifinal. Winner goes to the championship. And we're just going to do grids throughout the game. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good hangout. We all miss football Sundays, so we can have a football Sunday in the middle of June randomly and pass the time. Real quick, did you get into Pitts possibly going to Philly? So I didn't, because I don't necessarily take that too seriously, just because we have Dallas Goedert, and there was an issue about whether we can pay Dallas Goedert even for this year. So considering that we got a contract worked out to bring him back for this year, we already signed 2 guys to be backups. We signed Kylan Granson from the Colts and Harrison Bryant from the Browns or the Raiders. So we've already basically given 1-year contracts to 3 tight ends. So we're not getting Pitts this year at all. I would say that we're contenders to get Pitts next year, though. Pitts is from Philadelphia. We're going to lose Dallas Goedert next year. There's a chance we get Pitts next year. But what I would say is that he doesn't really fit what the Eagles want from a tight end conventionally, right? Because he's really like a receiving tight end. I don't think he's necessarily known for his blocking at all. I don't know if he's willing to work on it. I think if he was willing to try to at least become an average blocker, Philly might work with him. But if you see how much we run the ball, and you see actually kind of how crucial Goedert is to our running game, Pitts is not a good Goedert replacement at all. So funnily enough, if we were to add Kyle Pitts next year, it would be more to bolster the passing attack, because we have A.J. Brown, we have Devontae Smith, but we don't actually have a third receiver. So I could see Pitts maybe coming in to be a third receiver, but we would still need a tight end at that point. But it is not a this year thing. It is a next year thing. But yeah, like I said, people, I'm out. Make sure you hit the like button on the stream, subscribe to the channel. I'm on the road to 250 subs. It would be great to hit that at some point during the next season. So we're going to push forward. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. You guys take care. See you guys next week. I am out.